It's beautiful to watch these oil stocks. They totally telegraph this top in energy, and whether it be something like Halliburton, which had an outside downside, beautiful outside downside reversal, or something like ConocoPhillips, it's got a reversal now. Both of these, I think, could easily make it some great money the downside. When the dailies, remember I had showed you those oil stocks in the free video and stuff, and all the key reversals and stuff. They just look like a train wreck. But now you can argue that we have now a 3-bar empire fractal top that is now fired here. So anyway, you shake it, man. Put a fork in this commodity. It is DONE. And look at that. What have I told you about volume signals? Volume speaks what? You don't see this very often, folks. And that right there is a huge volume divergence. Very rare. Let's see, RSI, we got as high as 78.5. Then this peak here was 78.88. So not quite a div there, but you can definitely see, actually, maybe not. Willie got as high as 4.3. So there's 3.73 there. And we got up to 3.25. Oh, interesting. So no divs on the RSI or Willie, but Willie definitely stupidly overbought, and a huge bearish divergence there in crude oil. So we've got divergence in OBV, divergence in MACD, and I love when these divergences happen. These are just absolutely incredible. Notice the market makes a new high here. But notice the MACD, it just barely can get back to the zero line, and then it rolls over and makes a new low. This thing could I mean, look where the 200 period moving average is. It's all the way down here. Holy crap. This thing's got trouble written all over it. And also, too, notice there's a big gap right there, right at the MUOC right there. So we're probably going to have to fill all that in. So I don't know what's going on here. I mean, maybe this might turn into some sort of head and shoulders kind of top. So we're actually coming into a bit of a support line here in the short term. That wouldn't surprise me. But I'll tell you, man, that daily momentum picture just looks like an absolute train wreck right across the board. So I do believe whatever the cause of this silly crude oil rally, there was, somebody clearly knew something. It might have been around all the hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it had anything to do with Russia. It's interesting how David O, he likes to follow the midpoints of these chaos levels. Interesting how we did top out right at that midpoint there. I don't know whether there's stuff going on in the Middle East if we go off of this double bottom. Interesting how that 4669 appears to be probably the neckline of that head and shoulders. But whatever the reason was for this rally, I think it's done now. I would find it very, very hard to believe that this market can rally in the face of that technical picture. That is a very, very poor technical picture. I'd even be willing to tweet that out, Be interesting to see what the first 2 weeks study sort of produces here. I guess right off the bat, what was the first 2 weeks study for this past quarter, July, August, and September. So where are we here? Wow, that's an interesting image. So I don't know whether anybody was expecting that out of the first 2 weeks study. And I guess the question is, given this image, I mean, it'd be just curious to see what did the first 2 weeks study suggest. So isn't that interesting? Everybody and their brother had the economy completely wrong there. It's interesting how the entire quarter we had communication services up, discretionary down, and here we had communication services up like big time and discretionary up. And interesting too how real estate was perceived to be up, but actually it came in violently down. So it's almost like communication services, and that's probably like Facebook and stuff like that. They were just so beaten down that the market was looking, I mean, it didn't get this absolutely insane face rip rally. But it is interesting how the market had this whole part of the curve completely wrong. I suppose, well, to a certain degree, materials, staples, healthcare, they were perceived as negatives. The negative. Healthcare actually did a little bit outperform. But the oil market, that I think that completely surprised everybody. Frankly speaking, I wasn't looking for an oil rally like that. So that was fascinating what happened there last quarter.